Okay, just making sure I do the right things. Okay, so we're gonna start with hand posture or hand position. So the first thing you want to make sure is that whenever you put the flute together, you don't want to like break into the keys. So you want to make sure you're touching it like really like open areas. So for the flute, your left hand is the one that's closer to your mouth. Yeah. So your thumb is gonna go right there. Yeah, on that key. And then this is your first finger. This is 2, 3, and then your pinky hangs out there. And that's the G sharp trill key. Okay? And your left hand, you can probably see there's probably a little tarnished spot. Your thumb might not go directly there because your hand might be a little different. And then this one, 1, 2, 3, and then pinky hangs out for whatever you're gonna need it for. So then another thing with hand position is not only where your fingers go, but how you balance the flute. Because if you try to play, you're gonna realize that you have to hold it up with your own hands. So you wanna make sure that your right thumb is a balance point. And then most of the time, you're gonna be having this pinky down for a lot of the notes, so that can be a balance point as well. And you can use your left thumb to balance it a little bit, but I would stray away from that mainly because you're gonna have to lift it up at some points. That. Skip a hole.
Yes.
And one of the big balance points on your left hand is gonna be your index finger.
Like the knuckle right here?
Not that knuckle, but I would say like that one.
That one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Should we skip the hole? There you go. Yes. So just for the sake of sound, we're gonna have you do the starting note, which is B flat. So it's gonna be left thumb, first finger, first finger on the right hand, and pinky on the key. Yep. Okay. So for posture for the flute, you want to make sure that you're sitting feet flat on the floor, obviously, back not against the chair. And when you think about playing the flute, you obviously are like elongated, like you have a lot of space. So kind of to save space and with kind of the direction the flute makes you want to go, you're going to turn it in just slightly, and then you're still going to look straight. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, awesome. So now you can rest, just relax. We're going to work on like the embouchure idea. So for the flute, you kind of think in a frown, and you don't have tight corners at all. And I think that's going to be one of the big problems because you play brass mainly. It's down, and the aperture hole, like the actual space, is not that big. And I want to say that you're not going to blow into the flute. You're not going to blow like into the air hole. It's almost like you're grazing right atop of it, and like kind of like your air streams are like half going in, half going out.
So I get the corner.
Yeah, you don't want to shoot obviously not straight down with your air, but not directly straight across. It does lean more on the side of like straight. That's a pretty good sound. So one thing I would say is you want to make sure that only 1/3 of the hole is covered by your mouth. So that means that you should just be able to, like when I look at you, I should be able to see most of it. That already improved the sound. Great. One more thing is you don't want any of the actual like lip plate, which is that, rest on your lip. You're kind of taking it and like anchoring it there. I move it down a little more.
Okay.
So that your lip, like the bottom of your lip is like grazing it, but there's no like actual lip to contact. So then when you blow across, yeah. Awesome. Awesome. You make better sounds than I do. your hand position is great, and I'm wondering if you feel uncomfortable with the balancing because you're using this finger. Because eventually, if you were to be playing other notes, yeah, just kind of, yeah. Yeah.
I think I'm just holding it there for stability's sake.
Yeah. So is that just because you feel like it's gonna fall, or just because you're not using it, kind of?
Just kind of.
Okay, yeah, okay, that's why I just want to make sure it's a good idea when you're not using the fingers to keep them just like hovering, not too far, so that when you do need them, they're ready. You don't have to move from a far location. Yeah, and then for the last thing we're gonna cover is articulation. So with articulation, if your air doesn't go into the flute, like directly down, your tongue's not gonna go into the flute either. The syllable that I would say is like a D-A-H. I'm hesitant to say anything with ta because I think you're going to get a really stiff articulation. It's more of like da, 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 da. And the place where my tongue is going, I'm trying to think, da, da, it's just slightly above where your teeth and gums meet. Not quite on the ridges in your mouth, not quite there. Da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. So why don't you just try a couple of those. That's literally better than articulation. You're getting a great sound, and your articulation sounds really good, but I see you, it's just like a little bit of a smile. And you're still getting a really good, like solid sound, but it's almost, it's not even like an intense
Just like
frown.
Relaxing.
It's just, you just have, and I know that, with brass, the big thing is corners
like
too.
corners.
Exactly, that's the big thing. So I understand why it's happening, but that's something you're gonna have to it's just like the exact opposite. They're relaxed and they're down. That looks a lot better. Before you just made the correction, they were just a little bit like smiling, and this time they were nice and like flat, nothing down, but I already saw an improvement. Okay, thank you so much for being a Flute student.